Get ready. Get set. It's time for the basement view. Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening. Glad you can make it. Glad I can make it. It's me, back. It's Wednesday, cold as hell as usual, but I'm glad to be here. On the basement view. Hey, James, what's happening? Glad you could tune in and check us out. Got a treat. Got a treat. Believe that. How's it going? As always, subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and make that algorithm do its thing. Appreciate y'all for showing up and checking me out here. Tonight, we're going to discuss some of them executive orders, okay? We've all seen what the fellow that came out of the chute with. Craziness, craziness, craziness. So we're going to discuss that tonight. And we're going to discuss the plea that apparently angered that fella and everybody else in the GOP. And also, poor little Vivek Ramaswamy. That poor guy, he didn't make it the first day. So, that's what we're going to discuss today. But before that, I got a treat for you all. Today, I am actually joined here in the basement with Larona Carter. Say hello, Ronnie.
What's up, y'all?
Yeah, we got a guest here that decided to come in and share a little commentary with us today and give us some of her insights as well. So, buckle up, buttercups. You say you saw Musk do that Nazi salute? Yeah, well.
Yeah.
That's kind of funky, huh? It did not surprise me.
But it did not really look like a salute. It did look like it was something he didn't know what he was doing.
Somehow, I feel like...
You think so?
I feel like he knew what he was doing. That's Elon Musk. He's goofy.
And it looked goofy.
Weird. Huh?
But it looked like a goofy move.
It was. I mean, for him to do it in the first place.
Well, yeah.
you know? So, and as I watched, hey, Carmen, how you doing? As I watched him do it, I went and looked at some other people that were actually doing the salute on purpose.
Right.
Looked the same to me.
Really?
Yeah. Looked the same to me. And let's face it, he's also monetarily backing the Nazi party in Germany right now. So their version of what would be a Nazi party. It's not a Nazi party.
Got it. Got it.
So I've always thought him to be a Nazi. First of all, he's South African. Okay.
Yeah.
We already know what his views on shit is. Okay. So, and he's backing the racist in Germany. He's backing the racist in Britain and France. Mm-hmm. And is soon to move on to the racist party in Italy. So that don't tell you something.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
good luck with that.
Just trying.
So yeah, today we want to discuss some of these executive orders. Okay. And but first, how about we have a look at a bishop in, I guess they were in D.C.
Yeah.
And she gave a plea, and apparently this plea upset him quite a bit. I'm going to cue that up. Let's have a look and tell me what you all think.
Let me make one final plea, Mr. President. Millions have put their trust in you. And as you told the nation yesterday, you have felt the providential hand of a loving God. In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meat packing plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. They are faithful members of our churches and mosques, synagogues, wadara, and temples. I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away, and that you help those who are fleeing war zones and persecution in their own lands to find compassion and welcome here. Our God teaches us that we are to be merciful to the stranger, for we were all once strangers in this land. May God grant us the strength and courage to honor the dignity of every human being, to speak the truth to one another in love, and walk humbly with each other and our God for the good of all people in this nation and the world. Amen.
Did y'all see that? Did you all see that? That was something. Yeah, that is church, Carmen. And I agree, church and politics don't mix. I do agree with that.
I appreciate the words from the bishop to cause that conviction, because I think they needed to hear that.
Well, probably. I think, I'm kind of torn on it because, let's face it, if it would be different for me if you were talking to somebody that was going to be receptive to what you have to say. I don't think they were talking to anybody she was talking to anybody that was receptive to it.
But I think about the seed being planted
Okay. I mean, I don't, you know, I'm good with her saying it. I'm good with her asking.
Yeah.
You know, especially
Yeah.
being in her position. You know, she did take a position of, you know, mercy. You know, so I'm cool with that. You saw the reception it got.
It takes a minute to soak in.
So, you know, I hope somebody in that room can say something to him. Probably nobody that was in that actual picture, but
Right.
some of the other people that might be in the room. I hope that somebody could grab him, pull him to the side, and say, you know, don't just come flat out stepping on their necks. You know,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
kind of what I hope.
Well, it's been 3 days. It's been 3 days.
Yeah. Boy, more to come.
Man, look.
Okay. Anyway, how about those executive orders, huh? You know, hey, let's get into that. Carmen, you scared of the changes he's going to make with Medicare and Medicaid? Yes, I am afraid of that too. I am afraid of everything this guy's got coming down the pike.
Not everything. There's some good stuff. I like the fact that men and women, there's a line drawn. Nothing against the, what is it? The transgender.
Let's just say, well, I don't want to say
The
that
alphabets.
either.
The alphabets.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I get that. I get that. Yeah. You know, I don't. Oh yeah, and prescription medicines. Yeah, Carmen, I get. Yeah, I agree with you on that. But yeah, you know, I don't know how we got to the point where it got so stretched so far. You know, of course you got male and female, and let's say there are people who feel or have, and even if you say they were born feeling
Yeah.
like they were the other, you know, whatever you were, you born feeling like you were the other. Somehow it got to be something in the middle.
Well, it became too liberal. So I don't believe that if I'm using a woman's restroom, that a man should be allowed to come in because he identifies as a woman or binary. I think there should be a separation.
And, you know, I can go with that. You know, I don't think that it's fair to anybody in any of those situations. I don't think somebody with, you know, that is physically a man should be allowed in the woman's bathroom. I don't think somebody that's physically a man should be on a female team of any kind, you know, unless
Agreed.
he's a coach.
Agreed. Agreed. Men are physically
Men.
strong. They're men, but they are stronger
Right.
than women.
Yeah. And personally, it's just an advantage. You got an unfair advantage as a man. If you go in a woman's bathroom, you got an unfair advantage walking in a woman. You could be, you could feel like you're a woman, mentally be a woman, but you are physically a man, and that's going to make women in the bathroom uncomfortable. So I get it. I get that part. So to say that nationally we believe there's only two sexes, I guess
If that's what it takes. Look, I'm for it.
well, all right, I get it. Anyway,
No, but listen. So, a few years ago, at our church in Chicago, I was in the bathroom, and there were a couple other women in the bathroom as well. So, a man, and someone came in and said, "What are you doing in here?" And he said, "I'm binary." She said, "I don't care what you are. The men's restroom is across the hall. You are not to come into the women's restroom." So.
and I get it. That makes sense. You won't get any argument with me out of
Okay.
keeping them separate. I mean, and as far as I'm concerned, I don't believe I've ever heard of a situation where a trans man, and I guess I'm saying that right,
Or binary. Or is it non-binary? Binary.
I think it's non-binary.
Non-binary.
Yeah. Okay, a non-binary, let's say a physical man who is dressed like a woman. I don't think I've ever heard of any situation where he was attacked in the men's room. Has that happened? I don't know.
I don't know.
But for some reason, I don't see men attacking a man.
True.
If you're standing at the urinal with me, I'm not going, I'm just going to assume something there if you're standing there.
Yeah.
I'm just going to assume that and leave you alone. So I don't know why they can't just go in the men's room. You've been a man all your life. Okay, you dress like a woman. Go on in the men's room and do your thing and go on out the men's room,
Got it.
So it's just a thought. Just my thought. I don't know. All right. What are some of the other?
Are we going to go to some of these?
Yeah.
Okay, now this is what I had asked about. In remote work policies and order federal workers back to the office full time. Now, how does this affect other programs, other companies in the event we have something worse than COVID?
Well, I suppose if something worse than COVID comes up, can't they can put the policy back in effect? Can't they?
I don't know.
I mean, because he rescinded it doesn't mean he can't reorder it.
But where's that one where he says we are no longer withdraw from the World Health Organization? That's concerning as well.
I don't know where this fool got that idea from, The World Health Organization is there just for that, to, I guess, help the entire planet work out situations like COVID. Also, I don't know if he knows this, but the World Health Organization is part of the United Nations. So, that would take a year to unwind. So I don't know. I don't know what his thinking is on that. I'm kind of, I'm scratching my head on that one too. But I'm scratching my head on quite a few of them,
Yeah.
So.
Where's this, that other one that I thought was really interesting was, where is it? Roll back energy efficiency regulations for dishwashers, shower heads, and gas stoves. What? What? What do y'all think of that?
Let me see that. Roll back energy efficiency regulations for dishwashers, shower heads, and gas stoves.
Why?
Hey, what do y'all think? I mean, do you think that will help the country if shower heads are less efficient or dishwashers are less efficient? Will that help you any? I tell you what, here's one that caught my eye. Eliminate environmental justice programs across the government, which are aimed at protecting poor communities from excess pollution.
I saw that too. Yeah.
Eliminate environmental justice programs.
Yeah.
So, I think if you can actually pick a program and target that program, knowing that's a program that was put in place to keep polluters. And in order for them to make this program in the first place, they had to identify actual polluters. Mm-hmm. And if you decide to eliminate that program, what are you saying to America? What are you saying?
I don't care about your cancer diagnosis. I don't care about any of your illnesses. And we're already going to cut the Medicaid, Medicare. You're on your own.
Yeah.
You're on your own. It's crazy.
I spoke about how cruel these people are. Okay? And in speaking about how cruel they are, we got to that they go low, we go high thing. This a whole nother time.
Yeah.
Okay? These people are cruel. And they don't understand anything but cruel. So any solution is going to have to be with a club. He's trimming departments to trim the budget so he can say he's helping the people. Well, I don't think he's trimming anything to help the budget. If you recall his campaign's speeches, he's always talking about tax cuts. Trimming the budget is just going to be for tax cuts. He's not trimming the budget to help anybody. And unnecessary departments. Okay. Maybe there are some unnecessary departments that are going to go away. You know, the United States government has a lot of departments. And some of them are probably unnecessary.
That's possible.
I don't think you should, off the bat, just jump right on the ones that target poor communities. I mean, there's probably some you could figure out other than that, you know?
But, I mean, some of them are from rural communities, so they would be affected too. Because if you look to, let's say, get rid of some kind of waste, or they would do it in the rural communities.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he makes a differentiation
That's true.
between poor, you know.
Poor is poor.
Yeah.
I don't care what community it is.
I don't think he cares. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
The guy's got his mind set on cutting a bunch of stuff and giving him and his friends a tax cut. I tell you what, we definitely gonna see.
Okay, but look, we gotta ask about this one. Fly the American flag at full staff on Monday and on future inauguration days. How were we flying it before?
Well, what he thinks when he was in office before he discontinued environmental regulations. Well, I think what you just pointed out was the ramblings of a madman, because they've always been flown like that. But he was so disappointed that Jimmy Carter died, and the flags are supposed to be flown at half staff. Right now, if you look around everywhere, the flags are at half staff.
Yeah.
Well, the governor of Texas ordered the flags in Texas to be raised, and he wanted the flags raised out in D.C. because of his inauguration.
Oh, okay.
See,
So this way, no matter what is happening, we're gonna keep it full staff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very interesting.
Yeah, it was at half staff because of Carter's funeral, right, Carmen? I don't know. And that pissed him off for some reason, you know. But see, that's the problem with this guy. Right, that's so disrespectful. That's the problem with this guy. Everything with this guy is personal about him, you know?
True.
Everything is about him. I mean, Jimmy Carter died. A former president died. Anytime dignitaries die, they fly the flag at half staff. Now, why that bothered him? He's a maniac. The dude is a narcissistic dude. Check this out. I guarantee you that the reason that they had the inauguration indoors, they said it was because of the cold.
Right.
I guarantee you, he looked at the number of tickets that went out.
Oh.
And there wasn't going to be enough people out there so he could show the crowd that I had the biggest crowd
That makes sense.
at my
That makes
inauguration.
sense. Yeah.
I guarantee you that's what it
Yeah.
was. I guarantee it. That's all he does.
You have peeked inside the mind of a madman.
Oh,
Oh, Lord.
oh, hey,
That's
you know
scary. I'm sorry, Jeff. That's scary.
what? Hey, but this dude is easy to figure out. Everything he does is about him. You know,
But that makes sense. That
everything
makes
the dude does is about him. He don't do anything about anybody else. It's just about him. You know. It's just-
Now, how long do you think it's going to take for him to rename Mount Denali and the Gulf of Mexico?
well, you know, he can rename it all he wants. He can, you know, they can rename it, and it may be called that here in America all day long, but the rest of the world won't give a damn. You know, the rest of the world, they're gonna still call it what it is. You know, I don't know what's wrong with the dude. Again, that's something going on in his head. I have never heard anybody. Hey, you all, chime in. Have you ever heard anybody upset that the Gulf of Mexico was called the Gulf of Mexico? You know, show of hands. Yes, no. I've never heard anybody upset that the Gulf of Mexico is named the Gulf of Mexico. You know, only a Republican would be upset about something like. Only a Republican would think of that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't get it.
All right. Here's another one. Ensure that states carrying out the death penalty have a sufficient supply of lethal injection drugs. Really?
Well,
I mean, really? Of all the things we need to be concerned about? This makes the list.
well, I guess if you're gonna carry out executions, you want to have enough drugs to do it. Well, you know what? Again, this goes to show you the mindset. This shows you the way they think. This shows you what's important to them. That's why it's so easy to figure him out. This shows you exactly what they think about. Okay? What you see is a perfect snapshot
Yeah.
of the things they discuss behind closed doors. You know? The things that they feel, you know. Like the order of taking birthright citizenship away.
Yeah.
Now he signed one of those orders. Now I read the text of that order. Mm-hmm. Now down in the text of that order, and what nobody really realizes is, down in the text it says, this will be implemented for those born 30 days or more after this order was signed. So
Really?
that doesn't include anybody that's here now.
Right.
It only includes anybody born 30 days or more after he signed the order. Mm-hmm. Those people aren't born yet.
Right.
Okay? Now, you would ask, then what the hell? Right? you know, that's the question, right? What the fuck? You know? So let me tell you something. Okay? Let's dig down in the mind of a lunatic again, okay? So let me tell you what that order's about. That order along with the rest of them, is simply, in my opinion, okay? In my opinion, these orders are solely to put a bunch of junk in the court system. Because he knows he's going to get sued all up and down the country about all manner of these orders. And he's just loading the system with garbage to gum up the judicial system. He's doing this because once these cases reach the courthouse,
Okay.
you got Republican judges that's going to grind the wheels slow as hell. They're just going to sit on them. Meanwhile, while everybody trying to figure out the legal ramifications, his immigration people can go into houses and snatch people out of the houses, take them on down to the border and kick them out. They can run willy-nilly until it's figured out in court.
Okay. You think he thought that far ahead?
Oh, I guarantee you.
Or somebody?
Yeah.
Somebody.
Exactly.
Somebody.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because all he said was, starting on day one, we're going to have mass deportations. And then he went back behind closed doors and said, okay, somebody figure out how I can do that. You know? And they said, well, you can't do that. But what we can do, you know, on that birthright thing, you can sign that order and we'll just gum up the court system with it. You know, you'll sign a bunch of orders. They're all going to court.
Okay.
And while that shit's sitting around in the court, we can run willy-nilly doing all other stuff. You know, they're going to be doing all kind of stuff.
Now, what about the issue with him and Elon? You forgot about that?
Yeah. Hey, don't know if you all know yet, but yesterday, our fearless leader announced a $500 billion investment in AI. He, along with a couple of other CEOs, announced something called Stargate, which is supposed to be the biggest artificial intelligence infrastructure project so far. So they made that announcement yesterday, and apparently today, Elon Musk expressed his displeasure with that idea and said it'll never work because they ain't got enough money to do it. Now, I don't know about you, but when the one guy that's actually got a $500 billion and who is on the team steps up and tell you, nah, we ain't doing that. You know, he says they ain't got enough money to do it. So apparently what he's saying is, I ain't putting none of mine in on it. So y'all on your own. And also today, apparently the White House representatives, White House spokespeople said, don't listen to Elon, listen to Trump. So, apparently, you know, there's some rocky roads ahead for this couple.
But even when he announced it yesterday, and he said this is going to be 100,000 employees will have jobs. What? I mean, how is that even going to be possible? 100,000? 100,000. We're going to employ 100,000 people.
Gonna need a really big building.
I mean, he likes large numbers, and I get it. He's a numbers guy. A lot of numbers make sense to him. But is that a reality?
Well, can they create something that will employ 100,000 people? You know, you could probably do that. You know, how many people does Walmart employ?
Well, he was only talking about the one facility in Texas. He didn't say this is going to be a corporation across the U.S.
Well, it can't be. Well, it could be. Let's say it's one spot in Texas. You know, it could be a compound that has many buildings. You know,
100,000. 100,000. A compound.
Well, a really big compound. Hey.
100,000.
I don't know what to tell you. You know.
I don't even think Google had that many employees.
Well, again, not at one place. I don't think it's at one place. You know, it would have to be spread out, because let's face it, AI is not in one place. You know, the use of AI is going to be out there, and it's kind of, you know, it would have to work like computer systems work, where you got a building here with a node in it and a building there with a node in it, and it just goes all over the place.
We have Google, we have Yahoo, we have too many other tech giants. That would mean you would have to take over the entire AI sector. So what about all those other companies?
That apparently seems to be their plan. Yeah.
Well, one of your people dropped out. They already dropped out.
Well, we're just going to have, well, it's going to be one hell of an AI fight. It's going to be one hell of an AI fight, okay? It's going to be a tech giant smash and grab, I guess, you know. Mm-hmm. Hey, again,
I want you to peek inside and tell me where that came from.
Well, I'm going to tell you where it came from. Somebody went to old Trump and said, hey, got a couple of CEOs got an idea, and let's listen to it. And Trump said, hey, yeah, let's listen to it. As a matter of fact, let's not listen to it. Let's just go out and say it. I guarantee you, that's what happened.
And let them know it's going to be big.
It's going to be big. Guarantee you. Guarantee. I don't know. So, looks like it's trouble in paradise between Trump and the White House and Elon. You know, but they seem to work their differences out pretty quick.
I don't know. We'll know in a week.
Right. Because Trump said he's going to get an office.
Because what is he? What, one day?
Yeah. And poor Vivek Ramaswamy. Here, let's have a look at Vivek's situation.
All right, Doge co-founder Vivek Ramaswamy will no longer head the department, leaving Elon Musk as the sole chair. Edward Lawrence joins us live from the White House with more. Edward, what's the backstory?
Yeah, so he's stepping away possibly for future endeavors, and I'll get to that in just a second. Elon Musk was spotted here on the White House complex yesterday, and noticeably absent was his Doge duo brother, Vivek Ramaswamy. Now, a Trump transition spokesperson says that Vivek has stepped away from the Department of Government Efficiency because he's possibly going to run for the governor of Ohio. Now, on social media, Vivek says this. He says, quote, it was my honor to help support the creation of Doge. I'm confident that Elon and the team will succeed in streamlining government. I'll have more to say soon about my future plans for Ohio. Last night, when President Trump signed the executive order creating Doge, he was asked about the world's richest person getting an office in the West Wing.
This is an order creating and implementing the Department of Governmental Efficiency, known as Doge.
Okay, that's a big one.
Is Elon Musk going to get a West Wing office?
No, he's getting an office for about 20 people that we're hiring to make sure that these get implemented.
Well, well, well. That's interesting. So, he's not going to be in the West Wing. Okay? Apparently, they done made up their mind that it's not going to be in the West Wing.
Okay.
So, they won't have to see each other every day. So, hey. But poor Vivek.
I know.
The man didn't make one day.
I'm telling you, I'm worried about Elon. When I believe Elon. When Elon said they don't have the money, I think he knows what he's talking about.
Maybe right. Maybe right. You know, billionaire CEOs, though, you know, they have ways of coming up with money. You know, look at Vivek. Hell, Vivek is almost at 500 billion. Okay. When he bought Twitter for $45 billion. Didn't spend a dime to do it. Mm-hmm. He didn't spend one dime. He got the Russians to help him buy it.
Okay.
Okay. So he doesn't care that it's worth a third of what it was in the first place.
Uh-huh.
That wasn't the point. The point was to take it over. So billionaires, they have ways to do things. Once you're in the billions, you got ways to figure shit out, get money, get your hands on money. You know, you just go talk to other billionaires. You know. Yeah. So.
Well, this is going to be interesting. I want to continue to look. I want to look at this relationship and see how long it's going to last. I just don't see a future.
Yeah.
I don't see a long future.
Yeah. I don't see it happening either.
It's only been 3 days. And we've seen all kind of shifts already.
Right. Well, one other thing I wanted to mention while we were here, and that is the hat.
Yeah.
Check this out. Now,
that was her defense mechanism.
Now, that hat, as far as I'm concerned, that was a statement. That was a bold statement. First of all, it looks like, first of all, when you looked at it, you couldn't even see her eyes, right? She got it down where you can't see her eyes. That was, hey, I don't even want to look at you motherfuckers.
But you know what? I saw something that said it looked like the Hamburglar.
Yeah, it did.
It did. But I thought about the beekeepers, you know, it only didn't have the netting.
I'm going to be honest. That is the first time I ever saw her and thought, I like it.
Really?
Yeah. I like the hat. the way she wore it, I was like, she wore that hat like, man, the hell with all y'all. The hell with all y'all. I'm gonna sit here. You're not gonna have that camera light all in my face. I ain't gonna let this fool over here kiss on me. You know, he ain't getting no kiss.
I don't have to see you, and you don't have to see me.
Right. I think she was saying screw all y'all. She was saying screw all of y'all.
Yeah.
That's my take on it.
Okay.
I like the hat though. I liked it. I was like, go on, girl. Never liked you before now. She the strangest looking woman in the world. She looked like she would play what was her name? It looked like she would play Boris Badanov's wife, Natasha, you know, on Rocky and Bullwinkle. You know that?
I don't remember that. I mean, I remember
cartoon.
Rocky and Bullwinkle, but I don't remember.
Remember the German spies that was always trying to kill moose and squirrel? They was always trying to do no good, and Rocky always foiled them.
Kind of, but not really.
Yeah, they were Russian or German. I think German.
Okay.
Boris and Natasha.
I'm going to have to pull that up. I'm going to have to pull it up.
Yeah.
I'll have to pull that up.
She could play that role perfect. Okay. Natasha. Darling. She used to be always darling. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Natasha. That's her Carmen.
It's Natasha. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to pull that up because I don't remember that. I mean,
yeah.
I do remember Bullwinkle, but not Natasha.
Well, they were always getting up to no good. They was always plotting something.
Okay.
You know? And one of the things that they were hell bent on was getting rid of moose and squirrel.
Okay.
Because for a long time, I didn't even realize that Bullwinkle was actually, you know, a moose. You know, I used to look at him all the time and hear him say moose, but in my mind, for some reason, he was a horse, but it was actually a moose. You know. So, but she would play that role good, I think.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'm gonna call that good here. I want to thank Larona for coming out and hanging out with us today.
It was a pleasure.
And giving us the benefit of her opinions. And hopefully she'll come back and do it again, you know. So, anyway, as always, if you got something you want to share with me, you can send it to that email, and we will have a look at it and check it out. So, anyway, yeah, James, you have a good one, and the rest of you as well.
Good
Y'all have
night,
a good one?
everyone.
All right? We'll see you Friday, for sure. Take it easy.